Good afternoon and welcome to the OOH-RAH Report. I am your host, Anthony Kevra, and today we are talking about the final show for WWE before the Royal Rumble, Friday Night Smackdown. And this show actually felt kind of short. You know, there was a lot of actual matches that happened, but they kind of all boiled down to just, trying to get the last plug in before the actual Rumble show. A lot of it was vignettes. Like, a lot of it was actually pre-taped stuff that they just threw out there, which I was kind of disappointed about because I feel like for the go-home show for the Rumble, it could have been a lot better. The show opens up with not Roman Reigns, interesting, but with Daniel Bryan, and he goes on a whole chant about he knows how it feels to be in the WrestleMania main event, and the one thing that he needs to accomplish before he retires is winning the Royal Rumble. And yeah, they want him to be, the guy that you want to think is going to win the match. And I will get to my predictions at the end of this video for the Royal Rumble this year. And I will have a Royal Rumble review on Monday. So, yeah, Daniel Bryan goes on and on about why he wants to win the Royal Rumble. And then surprisingly, AJ Styles comes out and he gives his spiel. And this is kind of the thing for the night, is that all these guys are going to just throw their whole cases at the wall, and you're going to see who really wants it more. And, we knew that AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan were going to have a match tonight. So, yeah, that's how the match happens. We'll get to. So then after that, we get Bayley taking on Bianca Belair. Surprised that they did this on this episode. And, it's a solid match. Both of these two have a lot of good chemistry together. And Bianca wins clean. Nothing crazy, no shenanigans, and Bayley gets very upset about it. Bianca explains how she's going to win the Rumble after this, and to be honest, I would be surprised if she didn't. But I also, with the way that this match ended, there's another little wild card thing that I can see happening here. But I'll get to that later in my review, in my predictions for the Rumble. But yeah, so that was really solid. After that, we have King Corbin taking on Dominic Mysterio. And there's one little thing that I noticed here, where Dominic Mysterio comes out and attacks Corbin before the match. And I love his attire. It's black and gold, really cool. If you look at his pants in his new ring gear, they cleverly disguised it, and I'm very happy with this, is that if you look on the side, it says PM. But the way that the P is shaped, the actual curve of it is a little bit bigger, so it looks like DM. And I do know that at a point when Dominic goes on his own and Rey retires, he's going to take the name of Prince Mysterio after this. And I like that. And I like how they're at least acknowledging he knows that that's going to be the path he goes on. So it's actually pretty cool. And I did notice that. Solid match between these two. Corbin wins with the end of days. Mysterio tries to get involved. He beats up Corbin, and they go off. That's basically it. All three of these guys are going to be in the Rumble. I'm interested to see what happens between Rey and Dominic, Corbin, and possibly Seth Rollins when he comes back, because I'm assuming he's coming back at the Rumble match. And I'm interested to see that dynamic between all four of them and how this goes. It should be fun though. Then we get some backstage segments hyping up. Everybody's giving their plugs for how they're going to win the Rumble and they're going to go on a Mania and all that. And we have a nice little segment between KO and Roman Reigns, videotaped segment, so that they get to plug their last man standing match for Sunday. Really proper stuff. And then we get our main event, which annoyed me. I'll just come out and say it annoyed me, because you have AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. That match on its own, great. That boils down to a DQ finish with Sami Zayn. Big E comes out, cool. The Miz and Morrison come out. Okay, and then you have an 8-man all of a sudden, and that doesn't even end clean. It ends in a disqualification because Braun Strowman returns and whips everybody's ass. I'm happy to see Strowman return. I'm happy that he's going to be in the Rumble match, but you had all 8 of these guys just so you could get the big Rumble, everybody throws everyone over the top rope segment, and I don't get it. I feel like you only had what feels like 3 matches in this entire card. And to really hype up the Rumble, you really didn't do a good job. Like, you had, plugged it enough. But I feel like as a go-home show, yes, Strowman showing up was cool, and him being in the match is cool. But besides that, I didn't really see much that makes me want to buy the pay-per-view right before this. I was kind of disappointed a little bit with it. But overall, I guess it's okay. And yeah, there was also one other announcement that they made, which is just plain, in my opinion, plain stupidity. So they announced on Monday that backstage, WWE Backstage was coming back, and they were going to announce the number 1 and 2 position for each of the Rumble matches. And they were going to announce who the number 30 entrant would be in the men's match, which I understand they've done that before, but it takes away the luster of, that spot, because that spot is, I think between 27 and 30, if you enter in any of those positions and you're a surprise entrant, it is an undeniable, rocketeer back, and you have a really good chance of winning this. And I'll get to why who I think may debut in the Rumble, because they've been teasing a lot of stuff going around, and I have avoided spoilers so far, but I'm interested to see what happens. But you're going to tell me that, and then they announced that Natalya or Tamina are going to have a match on Saturday to determine the 30 spot. So you're giving away 1, 2, and 30. Why? I don't understand. I know they did it in the past, and it's worked out in the past. And yes, that makes the 30 spot. You know who's going to be, so you lose the luster of who the other guys. But you've been showing all last few weeks of who's going to be in this match. You've had people announce who's in this match, and you've kind of already given us about 20 people per match. What the fuck? You're really taking away the luster of the Royal Rumble by just giving away a lot of the entrants. And yes, I know, there's still a lot of room for special NXT guys and for, the guys who people have a feeling are going to debut and stuff. And I get it, but it's annoying. And personally, it upsets me that we're getting that. And especially on a show in a dead time slot that no one cares about. Really upsetting. But overall, SmackDown was it was okay. As a go-home show, I think it was bad. But as a good episode of SmackDown, it was a good episode of SmackDown. So now I'm going to get into my Royal Rumble predictions. I'm going to start from least important match to most important match. So the first one up is Asuka and Charlotte defend the Raw Women's Tag Team titles against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. If Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler don't win this match, I'm disappointed, because they've done Asuka and Charlotte have done 2 different storylines since winning the damn belts, and they're wasting their potential as singles competitors by doing this stupid tag thing, and it really is stupid. And at least with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, it's another thing that they can have while they do their own thing. I think Shayna should be more focused on winning the damn Rumble, which I think she is. But I think with this match, it gives you a reason to say, oh, she's tired and she gets eliminated. That's all this is. But yeah, I see them being new champions, and then Charlotte can go on and do the stupid shit with Lacey Evans, and Asuka can actually be the Raw Women's Champion, and do that. Men's Royal Rumble match. No, I'm not going to do that as last. Next up is Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens in a last man standing match for the Universal title. I think this is going to be brutal, and I think Reigns comes out on top. You are not giving the belt to Owens this close to Mania. There is no way. That's it. The Tribal Chief stands tall, and we're going to build something for him at the WrestleMania. And next, Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg. I swear to God, I think Miz will get involved, and either Miz will win, or Drew beats both of them up and Drew walks away as champion. If you take the belt off Drew and give it to Goldberg, there will be riots in the fucking streets. Plain and simple. It's just dumb. And if you put the belt on Goldberg, I really want to know what your plan is. Because if it's have Drew enter the Rumble and win it, why? If it's have Lesnar enter the Rumble and win it, why? And Drew is a solid champion. Don't fucking ruin it because Goldberg. It just makes no sense to me. And if Miz wins it, great. Drew will take it back at the next show. But just don't put the belt on Goldberg. For God's sake, don't put the belt on Goldberg. So now, the Women's Royal Rumble match. I'm not going to go through every entrant. I'll be here all night. But I will... For the review, I will be doing the same thing I did for the 1992 Royal Rumble, which I reviewed. If you haven't checked it out, please do. It is on the channel. And I think if for a safe bet, I'm going to say Bianca Belair wins this, or Bayley. And I'll tell you, and Bianca Belair, I think, is because they've been hyping her up for a while, and I think it's a great opportunity to get her and Sasha in the same ring. But on the same note, I think the way you've also treated Bayley, especially on the go-home show, her winning would be a really good swerve. And I would like it a lot. And I think that her winning would stick it to Bianca. Bianca would find a way to win the title, and you have them two go out at Mania. Or you have Sasha Bayley again, which if you put them at Mania, you give them the time, they could put on a hell of a show. Period. We know that. But yeah, for a really out there pick for the women's Royal Rumble match, I would have to go with possibly, I would think it'd be NXT. Yes, you know what? Screw it. Rhea Ripley. I think if you're going to go crazy and get a random person that no one really knows but will make everyone happy, Rhea Ripley. She needs the win. You know, she can go after OOH-RAH. She can go after Asuka, which would be great. Or she can go after Sasha. I think if you really want to just do a random feel-good Mania win for somebody, Rhea Ripley. I think that's a nice out there pick. And finally, the men's Royal Rumble match. Safe bet, easy. Daniel Bryan. No one will be upset. That's fine. If you want him to face Drew, great. If Drew's champ. And if you want him to face Roman, all right, but I don't see him beating Roman. For my out there pick, and yes, I'm not sure if this counts because to me, he hasn't been confirmed yet. But I think I hate it because I can't see them doing this. I can't see them throwing this away at a Rumble with no fans. I think it would be a waste. But I'm going to go with my out there pick to win the men's Royal Rumble, Switchblade. Switchblade Jay White. I can't. He's been rumored to go to WWE. I don't think he should. I think if he's smart, he goes to ROH or AEW. But if he does go to WWE for the money, and I get it if he does, I would not be upset. He's got the talent, but have him win would be mainstream news, and it would be great. And they've teased it. BT Sports, one of the providers for WWE in Europe, had made a very large post, and everybody's been speculating about it, including myself. And there's a specific part of it that shows 5 items. And it says who's going to debut, who's going to return, and it shows Ronda. It shows Ronda's Rowdy Piper kill. It shows Brock Lesnar's gloves. It shows CM Punk's armbands, and it shows a switchblade. I don't know if that's a spoiler for who's entering the match. I can't see Lesnar doing it. I can't see Lesnar going in that match and losing 2 years in a row. Can't. I can't see Punk doing it. I feel like that is just something that's brought up every year, and I would be genuinely jaw-dropped if it happened. Ronda, maybe. I feel like Ronda is probably the most safe bet out of all 5 of those, but Switchblade, man. You want a balls-to-the-wall pick for the Rumble, you want to get crazy, Switchblade Jay White wins the 2021 Royal Rumble. But if you want a safe bet, go with Daniel Bryan. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen at the Royal Rumble this Sunday. Leave your comments down below. Hit the like and subscribe button. They do go a long way. And I will see you all next time here on the OOH-RAH Report.